Hi, and welcome to the Help Save Our World Training Edition. I'm Alex Moore, and I'm here to show you the simple art of fermentation. Some of us are lucky enough to grow our own fresh fruits and vegetables. Fermentation is a fantastic way to preserve vegetables that are not consumed quick enough after harvest. Today, we'll be making sauerkraut, which is rich in probiotics, vitamins, fiber, and minerals, promoting healthy gut bacteria. Sauerkraut can promote a healthy heart, strong bones, and weight loss. Our ingredients today are cabbage and sea salt, but I'm going to be using Himalayan crystal salt. Anything that is not table salt. Table salt contains iodine, an anti-caking agent, which can inhibit the growth of good, healthy bacteria. We will also be adding herbs and spices to this recipe, but the herbs and spices are your choice. Don't stick to the conventional sauerkraut herbs and spices, purely because I do find them taste a bit perfumey, whereas any herbs and spices will do. First things first, we're going to cut up our cabbage. When cutting your cabbage, you want to try and get your pieces as thin as possible and try and keep them the same thickness all the way through. Be sure to keep your core one side. I'll show you the good benefits of this shortly. Okay, so I've cut up half the cabbage, which is approximately the size of about one medium cabbage. I would say that's about 3 pounds or approximately 1.5 kgs. And that's how much I've got in the bowl here. I know it looks like a lot, but it's not. And then I'm going to be adding 1.5 tablespoons of the Himalayan crystal salt to my cabbage, and I'm going to hand crush it together. And so I've added my salt and I've added some herbs. The herbs I have chosen are paprika, Italian herbs, and thyme, and I have sprinkled them all in there. Now I'm going to use my clean hands and I'm going to actually crush it all together. Can you hear that awesome squishy crunch sound? That's what you want to hear from fresh cabbage. Okay, so I've been crushing this for about 30 seconds now, and you can already see the cabbage is about half the size that it was originally. And if you look, you can already see the moisture starting to leak out of the cabbage. Now you want that to come more and more and more, so I'm just going to leave this for about 10 minutes and then I'm going to re-squish it again. After that, I can bottle it straight into my bottles. I don't need to pre-sterilize them completely, I just need to wash them thoroughly. I just want to mention a few different things. You can pretty much ferment any type of vegetable, carrots, peppers, chilies, the works. You can throw pretty much any vegetable in there and ferment it the same process as we're doing the cabbage here now. You can use purple cabbage, you don't necessarily need to use a green cabbage like I have done today. You can use other herbs and spices, you can use garlic, you can use the caraway seeds that they normally use in this particular recipe. Okay, great. So now I've got quite a bit of liquid. I have not added any more liquid to this. This is purely from the cabbage. I've squished this a little bit more, and you'll hear now it's a lot softer and watery. That's all the salt breaking down all the cell walls to extract this cabbage water from the cabbage itself. From there, we're going to be putting the cabbage straight into the bottles, and we're going to be adding this liquid to it. To top it up. I've also brought along a jug with 1 cup of water with 1 tablespoon of Himalayan salt, and that is going to also be added to this if there is not enough liquid to cover the top of the cabbage with its own juices as it is. Once everything has been pushed down, you'll notice here is just cabbage juice water. Let's get down a bit there. And you can see how I've got little pieces sticking up out of the top here. You don't want that. You want everything to be submerged out of under the water, and that's where your cork comes in handy to make sure you really get everything down below the surface of the water as far as it can go, and your hands cannot fit. And you can make your cork to the size of your bottle top that you need it to be at. Unfortunately, my core is not long enough to do this one, but that's fine. That's where this comes in handy, and I can just top up my jar with the extra salt water so that everything is submerged below the surface of the water. With the lids of your bottles, you want to make sure that the lids do not actually seal the bottle completely, but have a breathable gap. So where you've got a lid like this, where you can actually take out the inside liner, it's best to do that to prevent the actual seal. If you haven't got anything that you can remove the inside liner like I have, you can put a piece of cloth over your bottle with an elastic band, or a piece of cloth with your lid over the top of that. That will give it some breathable room, and you won't have your bottles exploding on you. So when is it safe to consume this? As long as there is no white mold growing on top or any other form of bacteria. If there's only a small amount, that's fine, you can scoop that off. But if you start to see large amounts of mold growing or persistent mold growing, you need to get rid of the contents. But it should take 7 days to 4 weeks to fully ferment. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy.